What's going on in the Atlanta real estate markets? What's going on with home values? Where are the best schools? Cleve has all the answers for you. Call Cleve Atlanta Real Estate Show on Talk Radio 640 WGST. Now, here's Cleve Gaddis.
She's a brick house. She's 1990, just letting it all hang out.
Welcome to another week's edition of the Call Cleve Atlanta Real Estate Show right here on Talk Radio 640 WGST. I am Cleve Gaddis, your show host. I'm also a full-time real estate agent, broker, and salesperson with a team full of agents helping buyers, sellers, investors, and landlords make the best decisions possible when buying, selling, or investing in real estate all throughout Metro Atlanta. My family's been in the real estate business for 30 years. We live, eat, breathe, and sleep real estate. And our goal in life is to make sure that our clients know everything they need to know in order to be sure about the decisions they make when buying, selling, or investing in real estate. If you need to reach us, the number to call is 770-497-0000, or you can visit GoGaddis, GoGaddis.com. One more time, GoGaddis.com. That's GoGaddis.com. We are broadcasting this morning live from Peachtree Palisades East in the heart of Buckhead in the iHeartRadio studios. And as usual, I have my technical producer here with me, Alfie. Good morning, Alfie.
Good morning, Cleve.
Alfie, I see you've got breakfast over there.
Yes.
It looks delicious.
Yes.
And the drink of champions, Mountain Dew.
Yes.
Mountain Dew, the drink of
up.
champion.
Yes. I don't drink coffee. That's my coffee.
We also have a very special guest in the studio with us, Mary Vidarte. Who's getting a standing ovation. That only happens when Taylor Swift shows up, Alfie.
When we have special guests, they always applaud the studio audience.
They do?
They recognize the talent.
All right. Well, Mary Vidarte has been a guest on the show before. You've been in the studio once before, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Just one time. Welcome, by the way. Thank you so much for getting up early on a Saturday morning and coming in to visit with us. Mary is the author of Payday to Profits, an entrepreneur's guide to marketing and sales, converting contacts to cash. I like that, converting contacts to cash. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. Mary has been featured in the Philadelphia Business Journal, Wall Street Select, the Boston Globe, and CBS, and I assume that's television, isn't it? Or maybe it's newspaper or magazine. I don't know where. CBS, what was that?
Newspaper.
Fantastic. We're very glad to have you this morning. We have got a great show. Mary's going to be with us for the first couple segments, and she's going to serve a little bit as a co-host, if you're okay with that, Mary. So you just chime in as you need to, and when we get to the second segment, we're going to talk a little bit about your book and why somebody should order your book. But we've got a great show today. In the first segment, we're going to give the Metro Atlanta real estate update through February of 2016. In the second segment, we're going to talk about your book, Payday to Profits. We're going to also talk a little bit about the Sure Home Buying System, and we're going to answer a question for Lisa and Matt in Lawrenceville who want to know how the Sure Home Buying System helps them when it comes to buying a home. In the third segment of the show, we've got a question from Jeannie in Canton. She wants to know what I think the most important this is a good one for you, too. You might want to stay for the third segment, Mary. This would be helpful. But Jeannie in Canton wants to know, what do we think is the most important thing in choosing an agent to represent her in buying a home? Rhonda in Swanee's received a notice in the mail offering to sell her a copy of her closing paperwork for $75, and we're going to address that. And then in the fourth segment, our Low Down on the Hood segment will be Brenfield in Swanee, which is there off of Lawrenceville-Swanee Road, just east of I-85. We're going to talk about J. Alvin Wilbanks, the Gwinnett County School Superintendent, and his contract renewal for the next 2 years. We're also going to paint a picture of how the Gwinnett County school system has changed from 1996 to 2016. But without further delay, let's dive into the Metro Atlanta market statistics through February 2016. There were 3,900, almost 4,000 single-family detached closings. And for those of you who don't remember, the detached closings don't include condos or townhomes, but everything else. That's 6% increase over February of 2016. There were almost 1,000 single-family attached closing, townhomes and condominiums. And that was, Mary, believe it or not, a 16% increase over February of 2015. That's quite significant, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And Alfie, you and I were one of the first to talk about the townhome and condo inventory being much lower than the single-family detached, and we said that not only the unit sales would go up faster than the single-family detached, but also the sales prices would as well, and I think that's starting to happen. Average sales price for a single-family detached unit last month, $255,300 versus $246,300 the prior year. That's a 3.7% step in the right direction. Average sales price for condos and townhomes, $214,200, which is 7.9%. 7.9% over the $198,500 average sales price in February of 2015. Year to date, single-family detached sales are up 7% over 2015 at 7,450. Single-family attached units sales are up 17% over 2015 at 1,800 sales. Year to date, our average sales price for the detached units is $256,000, which is up 6% over the $242,000 average sales price from the prior year. And single-family attached units, average sales price $213,000, which is 7% ahead of the $199,800 from the prior year. In terms of inventory, there were 17,500 active listings on the market in February compared to 18,300 in the prior year, which represents a drop in inventory available for sale of 4%. On the single-family attached side, there were 2,400 of those available for sale in the Metro Atlanta market in February of 2016 versus 2,600 in 2015, which is a decrease of 9%. Mary, any comments or questions about our market update?
Yes, those are wonderful statistics, but what does that mean to the buyer or the seller in our market?
So I think it means a couple of things. Number one, for a seller, if you are a seller, it is a good time to be a seller. Inventory is lower and prices are headed in the right direction. So if you're thinking about selling your home, it might be a good idea to get up and go and get your home listed. And then from a home buyer's standpoint, you probably will have a few less choices out there now than you did this time last year. That's not necessarily a bad thing. All the people who had all the choices in the world in 2008 and 2009, Mary, whose value continued to drop another 40% after they bought the home in 2008 or 2009, probably wished they had a few less choices. So when you have low inventory and less choices, it generally means the appreciation of your home over the next few years. And even though I can't use the word guaranteed, it is virtually guaranteed when you have low inventory.
So all those potential sellers need to be calling you.
That's exactly right. And the number for them to call is 770-497-0000. I want to remind you to file for homestead exemption before April the 1st and also file a real property tax return. If you think your home valuation is too high, make sure you get any exemptions you can possibly qualify for. Just go to your county's tax commissioner's or tax assessor's website and download the information. We believe that the average home seller in Atlanta sells their home for $16,000 less than they could, and $16,000 is real money, so please listen up to learn how to keep your hard-earned equity when you sell your home. If you're planning to sell your Metro Atlanta home in the next 90 days, you don't need a Zestimate from Zillow or a CMA like most real estate agents would provide, or even an appraisal. You need a customized maximum value plan, which is a kick-butt, no-holds-barred plan for getting top dollar for your home. It's normally $799, but you can get one absolutely free of charge. That's right, for free. Just be one of the first 5 people to call 770-497-0000, and we'll prepare for you a customized maximum value plan at no charge. Remember, it's normally a $799 value. It's good just for the next 5 minutes. And for the people to call 770-497-0000. It could be a $16,000 phone call. Wouldn't that be awesome? Again, call 770-497-0000. And then I suggest you start thinking about what you're going to do with the extra $16,000. Some conditions do apply, but not many. 770-497-0000. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Mary Vidarte is in the studio with us. We're going to talk about her book, Payday to Profits, and why you should probably own a copy. Stick with us, and we'll be right back.
This is Call Cleve Atlanta Real Estate Show on Talk Radio 640 WGST.
Sounds like Fleetwood Mac to me, Alfie.
To my love, took it down. Climbed a mountain.
I've got a listener indicator named Sharon Thrasher, and she loves it when I tell you to turn it up, Alfie. I don't know why she likes it, but she says, I love it when you tell Alfie to turn it up. So turn it up, Alfie.
Till the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child
That's a good song.
in my heart
What's her name? What's the lead singer of Fleetwood Mac's name? Alfie? Stevie Nicks?
Yeah.
Sorry. You're a lot of help, Alfie. I appreciate it.
My bad.
So, as we've done now for, I believe, the last 6 weeks, we have a featured artist of the week, and it sounds like this week it is Fleetwood Mac, and that was Mary Vidarte's choice for Fleetwood Mac. So,
Oh, yes.
that you must love Fleetwood Mac, huh?
Very
you wanted that or
motivating.
classical music, and we didn't want to put people to sleep driving all over Atlanta on a Saturday morning. If you've just joined us, you're listening to the Call Cleve Atlanta Real Estate Show on Talk Radio 640 WGST. I'm Cleve Gaddis, your host, also a full-time real estate agent and broker with a team full of agents helping buyers, sellers, investors, and landlords make the best decisions possible when buying, selling, or investing in real estate all throughout Metro Atlanta. You can call us at 770-497-0000, or you can visit our website, gogaddis.com, GOGADDIS.com. This segment of the show is brought to you by John Birchfield and Brand Mortgage. John makes it his mission to guide each home buyer step by step through the entire loan process so they are educated and confident in the mortgage options available and can also make the best decisions along the way. John can be reached at 678-226-7887, 678-226-7887. Dave Ramsey says you need to deal with people that have the heart of a teacher, and I will tell you that John Birchfield fits that description perfectly. 678-226-7887. Call John for your purchase, mortgage needs, or your refinance needs, and I promise you will not be sorry. We have in the guest with us. We have with us in the studio a special guest, Mary Vidarte. That's Vidarte. If you want to reach Mary, you can go to maryvidarte.com, MaryVidarte.com. Mary has done something that I would love to do myself, and only few people, everybody talks about doing it, but nobody really does it, and she has written a book. The book is Payday to Profits, an Entrepreneur's Guide to Marketing and Sales, Converting Contacts to Cash. And Mary, I would assume if somebody wanted to order a copy of your book, they could do it at maryvidarte.com. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So tell us a little bit, why in the world did you write a book in the first place? Why did you want to write a book?
I realized that I had gathered all these experiences and needed to share them.
Yeah, and it's all sales and marketing stuff in the book, right?
It is, but it relates to so many other things because we all are salespeople at some stage in our life.
Ooh, that's an interesting concept. So a mom is a salesperson and a dad is a salesperson, a brother, a sister. Wow, it's really true. We're all selling people on our ideas. So even if we want to go out to dinner at night and you know, there's 5 of us going out to dinner and there's 5 places that we want to go to, we're all sort of selling each other on those ideas. So tell us just a little bit about your book, first of all.
It's a guide for marketing and sales for entrepreneurs. And many people, not only do they have a regular job that brings them a steady paycheck, but they have some other side business as well. So I try to help everybody figure out where their strengths are and where their weaknesses are and to expand on that.
Exactly. One of the things that I want to talk about is you've got, on page 74 of your book, you've got an outline of the different types of presentations that someone should have prepared. Tell us, and I assume these can be anything. So if you're a Girl Scout troop leader, if you're whatever, you've got your sales pitch, and you put them into 4 different categories. Talk to us about those.
Well, the 4 basic categories is 1, very short, just 2 sentences. 2, short, a couple of minutes, 3, a full presentation, and 4, a lecture that may take a full day.
So if you've just joined us, you're listening to the Call Cleve Atlanta Real Estate Show on Talk Radio 640 WGST. I am joined in the studio by Mary Vidarte, who is the author of Payday to Profits, an entrepreneur's guide to marketing and sales. We're talking about the different types of presentations that a salesperson, and Mary is saying that all of us, everybody is a salesperson. Alfie, for example, thinks he's just a producer on the show, but he is a salesperson as well. In fact, because he convinced somebody to marry him, I know he is actually a good salesperson, so that's exciting, right, Alfie?
Yep.
I love it. It was all the trips to Disney you were going to give her, right?
That's true.
I love it. I love it. So Mary says you need 4 different types of presentations: an elevator presentation, a very short one; a short one, a 3-minute introduction; a full presentation, 10 to 15 minutes; and a lecture. Why do you need to have them divided into those 4 different categories? Why not just, open your mouth and start spewing out information about yourself and your product and your family and your troop and whatever else it is you want to talk about?
That's usually what people do.
Right. So, and why don't you want to do that? Why is that a bad idea?
Well, it's who you're speaking to. If you abuse their time, they're not, 1, getting your message, and 2, not going to want to talk to you later.
And I guess each one of those would be used. So, for example, a lecture, they're typically sitting in a classroom style. They're there to listen to you. They're going to pay attention. But I don't know if you've ever noticed this, Mary, but everybody's favorite subject is themselves.
Absolutely.
So they're focused a lot more on themselves than they are on you. So to get their time and to be able to talk about yourself and your product and your services is not always an easy thing to do. And you have to have some clear, concise messaging in order to make that happen. Seems to me like that's the message of your book.
Yes.
One of the things that I like about your book is it gives a little can I call it exercises?
Absolutely,
gives a little exercise
yes.
at the end of each chapter. And tell me, why did you include that? So, for example, in the presentations section, you would have a some type of outline of something at the end of that, or maybe it's the marketing chapter that would have some sort of exercise that you would go through. Talk about why you set it up that way.
Somebody that purchases my book may want some real answers, and the questions help you find your own answers. Many lectures that other people may give about marketing and sales is geared towards one thing. I want my reader to find out what their answers are as it relates to their business at the stage that they're in.
Wow,
so the answers will
huge.
change.
That is huge. If you've just joined us, you're listening to the Call Cleve Atlanta Real Estate Show on Talk Radio 640 WGST. In the studio with us this morning is Mary Vidarte, who's author of Payday to Profits. Mary can be reached by visiting maryvidarte.com, MaryVidarte. Mary, you should have a little bit easier last name to spell if you want us to get people to hear it on the radio. But it's maryvidarte.com, MaryVidarte.com. You've got some seminar coming up late April. Talk to me about that.
Yes, I do. It's called the Payday to Profits Marketing and Sales Seminar.
Well, that's a great coincidence because that's the title of your book. That is, you are a smart marketer. You are a smart
you
marketer.
Gotta
I
make
like
it
that.
Simple.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true. So where is it and what's going to happen?
It'll be in Buckhead.
Okay.
I target a small group usually. I try to start with 6, possibly as many as 10 people.
Oh, it's definitely an intimate setting. I like that.
Well, because your business is like your baby,
Yeah,
your child.
right.
And I'm trying to attract business owners that have real issues they want to talk about when it comes to their marketing and sales. And that usually expands into everything else about running their business, because you can't really get to the root of their problems or their challenges where they want to expand unless you understand many of the aspects of what's going on. And every business is unique to that business owner.
So you need to dig into the details before you can help them. You're listening to the Call Cleve Atlanta Real Estate Show on Talk Radio 640 WGST. Visiting with Mary Vidarte, author of Payday to Profits. She can be reached by visiting maryvidarte.com, MaryVidarte.com. We've got a question from Lisa and Matt in Lawrenceville. Says, you mentioned the Sure Home Buying System. What is it and how does it help buyers? And Lisa, in 71-step process that agents who work for me at Partners Remax Center use clients. And it is designed so that you and Matt will be in a position to be sure about all the decisions you make, because our buyer's agent, who will represent you exclusively, will make sure that you are the most educated person in that transaction. I've got a couple of other details to give on the Sure Home buying system, but before we get to that, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll finish answering Lisa and Matt's question. We're also going to talk about whether or not you should pay $75 to order a copy of your closing paperwork. Stick with us, and we'll be right back.
This is Call Cleve Atlanta Real Estate Show on Talk Radio 640 WGST. Now, here's Cleve Gaddis.
Alfie, I didn't even know that this was a Fleetwood Mac song. I love this song.
It makes you
What's
feel
the name
young.
of it? What's the name of this song?
It's Go Your Own Way.
Go Your Own Way. Oh, of course I knew that was Fleetwood Mac. Wow. Turn it up a little bit, Alfie. Just for a minute. Just fill some air. It'll keep me from having to talk so much. Oh, good song. Good song. Wow, that's good music. I could listen to that the rest of the show. Should we do that, Mary? Should we just listen to music the rest of the show? Alfie is convinced that I'm going to be a DJ on Power 96 one day, right?
Yeah, you got the chops for it.
You
got the chops.
The problem is I don't know who any of the artists are or who wrote the music, who's singing. I don't know anything about it.
That's why you have daughters.
That's true. That is so true. If you've just joined us, you're listening to the Call Cleve Atlanta Real Estate Show on Talk Radio 640 WGST. I am Cleve Gaddis, your radio show host, every Saturday morning, 9:06 right here on 640 WGST. Alfie and I have done about 70 of these shows over the last year or so. That's pretty cool, Alfie.
Do we do something for the 100?
We should have an anniversary celebration. Oh,
yeah.
We should do something special. Hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to have a contest, and we're going to give away something for the 100 show. So those of you who are listening, just don't change your dial at all from 640 WGST, and you only have 30 weeks to go, and we'll be at our 100 show, and then you can win something. It'll be good. We should give away something cool, Alfie.
I know.
You got any extra stuff you want to give away, or?
I don't think anyone wants any of my stuff.
Oh, okay. I'm putting Alfie on the spot.
How about like your car?
Oh, let's think about something else. If you don't mind, I really like my car. Let's think about something else.
You
Before we went to the break, we were answering a question from Lisa and Matt in Lawrenceville. Lisa writes in, says, you mentioned the Sure Home buying system on the radio every once in a while. What is it, and how does it help buyers? And the answer is, Lisa and Matt, it's a 71-step process. It's exclusively available from Gaddis Partners Remax Center. We're the only provider of that particular system in the United States of America. And it is designed to make sure that our buyer clients are the best educated party in a particular real estate transaction. We don't really, to be honest with you, care what decisions you make. We care whether or not you have all of the information you need in order to be able to make those decisions. We want you to go into closing eyes wide open. We don't want you to learn anything at closing or after. And as an example, as part of our process, we will order what's called a CLUE report for you. Stands for Comprehensive Loss Underwriting Exchange Report, and it'll be a detailed list of any insurance claims that have been filed on the property you're looking to purchase in the last 5 years. You are not, as a buyer, able to get one of those. Your insurance agent is able to get one, but sometimes by the time your insurance agent tells you that there have been four instances of water damage in the last 4 or 5 years, you can't get insurance on the house, your due diligence period is over, and you're stuck. And we want to make sure that you are in the know on everything. This segment of the show is brought to you by the law firm of O'Kelly and Sorahan. They're a full-service law firm with 17 offices throughout Metro Atlanta. The firm specializes in residential real estate closings, including home purchases, refinance closings, corporate relocation, and real estate contract review, and title insurance matters. They can be reached by calling 770-497-1880, 770-497-1880. 497-1880. Alfie, I think you have another testimonial for us. This is cool. I appreciate you getting these testimonials every week. Makes me feel good about myself.
Well, I work very hard to put these together, Cleve, so I want to make sure that these are presented correctly and in a great broadcasting quality.
Just read the testimonial out.
All right, you got it. This comes in from Gullum in Cumming, Georgia. And Gullum writes, we have been working with Gaddis Partners team for a long time with all our real estate need. They are exceeded our expectation and delivered as promised. Now we are working on some investment property, and Rob Hardwood from Gaddis Partners team giving us A++ service. I will strongly encourage you to give a shout to Gaddis Partners team on your next real estate need. So there you go. That's from Gullum in Cumming, Georgia.
All right, and that's a little shout-out to Rob Harwood as well. Congratulations, Rob. He's one of our agents. He specializes in working with investors and helps them make decisions, by the way, that will yield on their residential real estate investments a return of 10% or more. And while we cannot guarantee 10% or more, he bats just about 100% in terms of getting his clients the return that they are looking for. If you've just joined us, you're listening to the Call Cleve Atlanta Real Estate Show on Talk Radio 640 WGST. We've got a question from Jeannie in Canton. Jeannie says, what do you think is most important in choosing an agent to help you buy a home? Mary Vidarte is actually still in the studio with us this morning, and I would love, Mary, do you have an answer to that question, by the way?
The first step is making sure that you connect with that agent and they do business the way that you like to do business. Not all agents are the same.
Give me some details on that. What do you mean by that?
Some people are more emotionally based when making a decision, and others are more numbers based. And the agent that you choose will set the pace for how you approach your purchase or your sale.
Got it. So what happens if you meet with an agent and you don't feel comfortable with them for whatever reason?
Just keep interviewing and find another one. Of course, they need to call Cleve.
That's exactly right. It's 770-497-0000. Is it really important for the buyer to feel emotionally connected? Because sometimes the people you need to help you most in life are not necessarily the people that are like your closest friends. And so I think you need to think about it from a need basis. So, Jeannie, I would think, what do I need? If you're more of an emotional person, maybe you need to find somebody that's a little more logical, a little more process-oriented to help you work through that entire system.
I believe that you need to find somebody who's business-based, who gives you the numbers and gives you the facts, because it's the biggest financial investment you'll make usually in your life. But not a lot of buyers and sellers work that way.
That's true.
And so I try to keep it open for everybody, but it's a business transaction. And you need to find an agent that can focus on contracts, details, and very specific understanding how real estate works.
Yeah, there sure are a lot of details. And a lot of times people just choose somebody that's a friend of theirs. And I hate to say it, and I work with some of my friends over time, but that is a bad thing to do.
It's the most difficult, I found.
You need to choose somebody that you're not afraid to fire. And I think a lot of times people say, well, I'm going to use this agent to help me. And really, it's just like basically giving the agent some money for free on a transaction because I'm going to buy a house and somebody might as well get paid. And really, there are so many things that your agent needs to do. Please don't choose an agent that way. That's the best advice I can give you. If you've just joined us, you're listening to the Call Cleve Atlanta Real Estate Show on Talk Radio 640 WGST. I'm joined in the studio by Mary Vidarte, who's the author of Payday to Profits. She can be reached by visiting MaryVidarte.com, MaryVidarte.com. She's got a seminar coming up on April 30th, and I would assume that if you go to the MaryVidarte.com website, you can sign up for that seminar there. Is that correct?
Yes, you can.
And you can order a copy of the book as well, right?
Absolutely.
And what if somebody wanted one personalized by you? Could they?
I will personally sign it.
Fantastic. We've got another question. I received a notice in the mail to order a copy of my closing paperwork for $75. Do I need to do this? This is from Rhonda and Swanee. The answer is no. That is a scam. When you close on your home, you will get a copy. What they're trying to do is sell you a copy of your recorded warranty deed, and you will get a copy of that automatically from the closing attorney. So, Rhonda, that is a scam. Do not order that. For those of you who do not normally listen to The Sully Show, I listen to The Sully Show every weekday from 12 to 2 right here on 640 WGST. Every Wednesday at 12:20, I'm a guest on The Sully Show. We talk about real estate most times, but other times we just talk about whatever in the heck we want to talk about. Last week, we talked about facts about the Hartsfield International Airport. I thought that was pretty cool, didn't you, Alfie?
Yes, I did.
I hadn't heard a lot of that information before. Well, I had heard it before because it was my information, but I hadn't heard it before we got ready to do that segment for the show. So if you don't listen to the Sully Show, you should. Weekdays, 12 to 2, 640 WGST, and also on the iHeartRadio app. You could also go to iHeartRadio.com. Is that right? Or 640WGST.com.
Go there, 640WGST.
As well. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to feature Brenfield in Swanee, which is off of Lawrenceville Swanee Road, just east of I-85. We're going to talk about J. Alvin Wilbanks and the situations in Gwinnett County schools, and we're going to also talk about how Rick in Duluth just sold his house for $32,000 more than he thought he could. You stick with us, and we'll be right back.
This is Call Cleve Atlanta Real Estate Show on Talk Radio 640 WGST.
With a little more Fleetwood Mac on this Saturday morning. Let's listen to it a little bit, Alfie. I wish I could sing like that, Alfie.
We all do.
I wouldn't be here with you this Saturday morning, I promise you that. I'd be doing something else. You would be coming to my concert instead, Alfie.
Yeah, I'd be like, Cleve!
Yeah, I'll be quiet and let everybody listen to this for a minute. Stevie Nicks, Fleetwood Mac. If you've just joined us, you're listening to the Saturday Morning Music Hour with Cleve and Alfie, featuring the sounds of Fleetwood Mac. Actually, in all seriousness, you're listening to the Call Cleve Atlanta Real Estate Show on Talk Radio 640 WGST. Every week, we have a featured musical artist, and this week it is Fleetwood Mac. That was an excellent choice. Mary Vidarte has joined us in the studio this morning. Mary is the author of Payday to Profits. She can be reached by visiting maryvidarte.com. That's MaryVidarte.com. One more time, MaryVidarte.com. You can get more information on her seminar coming up on April the 30th by visiting her site. You can also purchase a copy of her book that she has graciously agreed to personalize for you. Maybe she'll even deliver it to your house. I don't know how that works, but she'll give you all kinds of good personal attention. We are next going into our lowdown on the hood segment. Each week we spotlight one specific Metro Atlanta neighborhood to call out critical changes in market pricing and discuss other important market information to help you identify unique opportunities in that specific area. This week we're highlighting Brentwood, which is off of Lawrenceville Swanee Road, just east of I-85 in the Swanee-Lawrenceville area. In 2007, the average sales price of a home in that neighborhood was $272,000. By 2012, the average sales price had dropped to $163,800. Boy, we sure were at a different time in the world back then. But by 2015, the values had recovered to $257,000, and I'll almost guarantee you that the sales so far in 2016 are even stepping ahead of those. So sales prices dropped 40% from their all-time high, or a $108,000 drop, but they have risen 36% from their all-time low, or a $92,000 increase. If we compare all the houses, if we look at it on a scale of 100 and say that the average home in that neighborhood was worth 100 in 2007, the values dropped to a 60 in 2012, and they're back to a 94 today. There are currently 2 homes on the market at an average list price of $257,500, which gives us a 3.4 months worth of supply of inventory. If we say if you have less than a 4-month supply of inventory, you're in a seller's market. 4 and 5 months worth of inventory, you're in a balanced market. More than 5 months worth of inventory, you're in a buyer's market. So you have a little bit of an advantage in that market if you are a seller, but you're getting close to the balanced end of the market. There are 160 homes in that subdivision, and the total homeowner equity from 2012 to 2015 increased $15 million, $14,799,000 to be exact. So if you live in Brenfield off of Lawrenceville, Swanee, in Gwinnett County in Swanee, you are sharing in $15 million more in equity. And some of you could probably use that equity to sell your house, make a down payment on a new house, or do other things, certainly, if you chose. The elementary school in the area is Walnut Grove, middle school is Creekland, and the high school is Collins Hill. Collins Hill gets a School Chimp rating of 88. School Chimp rating of 88. If you want to get a School Chimp report on your own high school, go to gogaddis.com, GOGADDIS.com. Click on the School Chimp link. You can fill out a little bit of quick information and download a full School Chimp report. It is really cool. Gives you an independent rating using a rating system that we designed on the school itself, which weighs all kinds of important educational criteria and outcome data on the school, but it also gives you all the demographic information you're looking for in terms of the average household income, the educational attainment of parents, the average sales prices, the percentage of homeowners versus renters in the area, and whatnot. I want to talk quickly, and Mary, you can chime in on this one, but J. Alvin Wilbanks, who is the superintendent of Gwinnett County Schools and has been, I believe, since 1996, just renewed his contract for another 2 years. Some interesting specifics on the school district. From 1996 to 2016, the number of schools increased in Gwinnett County by 86% to 136 schools in the county. Student enrollment increased from 85,000 to 176,000. The budget, so student enrollment, by the way, increased 107%. As is so typical in government, the budget increased 211%, while student enrollment increased 107%. And I'm not saying that there's not some justification for that. I just think it's amazing how much money our government spend at all different levels. The budget went from $597 million in 1996 to $1.86 billion in 2016. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution had an article recently. It's very interesting about the racial makeup and how that has changed over the years. Because I'm a licensed real estate professional in the state of Georgia, I'm going to let you go to the AJC.com and look up that information on race yourself. But there's a very interesting statistic. And in 1996, the percentage of free and reduced lunches in Gwinnett County was 13% of the student population, which represented 11,050 students on a free lunch program. Today, there are 54% of the students in Gwinnett County schools on the free lunch program, which means 95,000 of the 176,000 students in Gwinnett County are on a free or reduced lunch school program. If you're listening and wondering, well, how do you get on the free or reduced school lunch program? It's a federal program. Federal government sets income requirements all throughout the 50 states in the United States. It says in Georgia, if you're a one-person household, you have to make $21,775 or less. If you're a two-person household, that number is $29,471. Three-person household is $37,167. Four-person household, $44,863. Five-person household, $52,559. Six-person household, $60,255. Seven-person household is $67,951, and an eight-person household is $75,647. Not sure exactly how Gwinnett County got in a situation where it needs to have 54% of its students on free and reduced lunch programs. My guess is that the changing demographics have created additional stress in households because of the lack of income. Also, it might be showing up in some of the test scores because the parents might be focused on other things besides their kids' education because they're trying to make ends meet. And those are things we've all got to be careful of as we move forward with zoning decisions and new neighborhoods and all of that kind of stuff in the area. Real quickly, want to mention a recent success story. Rick in Duluth had his home under contract for sale by owner, would have netted $165,000. He was trying to make things easy and convenient and get his home sold. We connected with Rick. We helped him do what he needed to do to get his home in tip-top showing shape. He sold his home, closed last Thursday, and walked away from the closing table with $197,000, not $165,000. That is a $32,000 increase. $32,000. We got him more than he had already agreed to sell his house to someone else for sale by owner. We believe that the average home seller in Atlanta sells their home for $16,000 less than they could, and $16,000 is real money. In Rick's case, this number wound up being $32,000. So please Listen up to learn how to keep your hard-earned equity when you sell your home. If you're planning to sell your Metro Atlanta home in the next 90 days, you don't need a Zestimate from Zillow or a CMA like most real estate agents would provide, or even an appraisal. You need a customized maximum value plan available exclusively from Gaddis Partners RE/MAX Center, which is a kick-butt, no-holds-barred plan for getting top dollar for your home. It's normally $799, but you can get one at absolutely no charge. That's right, for free. Just call in the next 5 minutes, the number 770-497-0000, and we'll prepare for you a customized maximum value plan at no charge. Remember, it's normally a $799 value. This offer is good just for the next 5 minutes, and for the people who call 770-497-0000. It could be a $16,000 phone call. We appreciate Mary Vidarte being our in-studio guest this week. If you need to reach her, it's maryvidarte.com, MaryVidarte.com. I'm Cleve Gaddis. I'll talk to you next Saturday, 9:06 a.m. right here, 640 WGST.